haven't seen you since you left on your Pokemon journey. So how is training Pokemon going for you? Nice. How many badges do you have? 3. That's actually pretty decent. I've been doing this for years now, so, if you need any advice, I'm right here. You can ask me, I'm the perfect person to ask. So, tell me, for example, what is your team looking like? Who'd you pick as your starter? You picked Bulbasaur. Okay, you could have gotten a fire dragon like this one here, but you chose a lettuce. To each their own, I guess, but okay, that's a choice that we cannot change. Doesn't matter. So that's what else do you have on your team? Okay, that's decent. What else? Yeah, we can work with that. That's fine. I would have gone with something else maybe, but I guess it's okay for now. 3 badges, you're just starting out. What else? Oh, you have a Magikarp. I got one once, and then honestly, absolute disappointment. It just flopped around everywhere. I don't even think it knew any moves. It was just flopping around. I kept waiting for it to do literally anything, and it did nothing. So I just, I got rid of. Well, I released them the same day that I got it. I was just like, yeah, this is not a strong Pokemon. It's probably just a defective one, I guess, or Magikarp, just not worth it apparently. So yeah, when it comes to catching Pokemon, honestly, I think it's something that people overcomplicate way too much. Everyone always says, oh, you have to weaken the Pokemon first. Really? What? I don't really bother with that. I feel like if you just throw a Pokeball confidently enough, with enough commitment, the Pokemon will respect your commitment. Oh, and always, very, very, very important, you should always throw the Pokeball underhand. It's way more aerodynamic. The Pokeball flies way more effectively. Trust me, it works every single time. First try, or second, or maybe third, but it works most of the times. Maybe half the times, maybe a bit less. But I've been throwing underhand my whole career, I guess, and I've never had a reason to change. Speaking of Pokeballs, actually, obviously this is the Pokeball for my starter, so obviously it's a Pokeball, but I would not use normal Pokeballs to catch Pokemon. I would only use great balls. I don't know if you've seen the research, but they clearly fly so much straighter than other Pokeballs. Yes, you might have people saying they're literally the same thing, but honestly, they fly straighter. I have no proof, but I have no doubt. So, I don't know why more people don't just use great balls and obviously throw them underhand. Ultra balls. Ultra balls are fine. They're okay. But honestly, I think they're mostly for trainers who just want to flex, trainers who want to be like, oh, look at me, I can afford an Ultra Ball, and come on, and don't even get me started on luxury balls. Who is even buying luxury balls in this economy? Who can even afford a luxury ball? You're just here to flex that you have money. Alright, I'm sorry, spoiled kid, that your parents get your own Pokemon. I had to go into the wild and to catch my own. Come on here. And dive balls, don't even get me started on dive balls. They're waterproof. Okay, I don't really care about a waterproof Pokeball. It doesn't really do anything else. Alright, and oh my god, okay, hey, there, at some point, someone is going to come to you and be like, do you want to buy a nest ball? Literally the obsessed with like, oh, you have to build a balanced team, you have to have a lot of type coverage, and what? Honestly, I never understood that. Like, if the Pokemon looks cool, underarm throw, catch it. I mean, type matchups, they usually just work themselves out, you know. You can just, it doesn't matter, don't think about typing too much. Also, that actually reminds me, strong Pokemon, very important, no matter who the Pokemon is. I ran actually into a tree the other day that was moving, and I was like, why is there a moving tree, you know? That's not normal. So I went on my handy dandy Pokédex, and apparently it's a Pokemon called Sudowoodo. Bit of a weird name, but it's a moving tree. That must mean it's a super rare Pokemon, because trees obviously do not move. So, you know, as you must imagine, it must be a super rare Pokemon. Maybe even a mythical Pokemon, who knows? Maybe even legendary, who knows? So I thought, you know, perfect. I need a strong grass type for my team. So I sent out my Charizard, because, you know, of course I would go with Charizard. He's my strongest Pokemon by far. In fact, he is the strongest Pokemon. Charizard is the strongest Pokemon by far. And also all my other Pokemon haven't even evolved yet. You know, it's just probably because I only use my Charizard and just my Charizard for every battle. Because he wins, so what's the point of using anyone else? Anyways, I took out my Charizard and I used Flamethrower on this grass type Pokemon, right? Sudowoodo. And it didn't do as much damage as I expected. Which is really weird because my Charizard is very strong. It must have just been a really strong Sudowoodo. It must be because, you know, it's a legendary Pokemon or a mythical or some sort, because I've never seen moving trees. So yeah, but even if I didn't think that a grass type would survive my Flamethrower, you know, if it was a rock type or a water type, maybe, but a grass type, really? I don't know. Honestly, it must have been a legendary Sudowoodo, the king of all Sudowoodos, I'm sure. But my point was that people always blame type matchups, but sometimes, you know, the Pokemon's just built different. Or sometimes you encounter a really high level Pokemon and, you know, he's just that strong. And speaking of type matchups, you know, some type matchups don't even make sense. So you're telling me that fire is strong against ice? That literally makes no sense. What do you mean? Because if you put ice, it's going to be strong against fire because the ice will cool down the fire, right? That's common sense. That makes sense in my head. So, you know, yeah, something to think about. The ice is cooling down the fire, so you should use the ice types against your fire types. Another amazing piece of advice is to always evolve your Pokemon, especially your Charizard. I mean, I guess in your case, your lettuce Bulbasaur. Yeah, I doubt he'll be as strong as my powerful dragon over here, but it is what it is. Evolution is strange. You never know what you're gonna get. I've been trying to evolve my Combi. I have a little Combi, great little guy. I've trained him for so long. But he just doesn't evolve. I'm even giving him honey, but nothing. I mean, I have no idea what's going on. And I was thinking, you know, if female Combis evolve into Vespiquen, then my male Combi right here is bound to evolve into Vespiking, right? Anytime soon. I don't see why he wouldn't, but maybe I just need to feed him more honey, who knows. I had something similar actually happen with my Growlithe, because I wanted it to evolve, right? And it needs an item called a Firestone. So I figured, okay, fire type Pokemon needs a Firestone. So I went and bought him some charcoal. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. It's a stone out of fire, charcoal, fair enough. And I bought him a nice big piece of charcoal, and I gave it to my Growlithe, and nothing happened. Well, I think I got scammed, or maybe I bought a cheap charcoal. So, you know, be careful with evolution. Be careful with a lot of scammers. I'm sure if I try a nice proper charcoal next time, my Growlithe will evolve. Speaking of items, by the way, items are very important. Obviously, you have to just try item combinations and see what happens. You know, maybe if you give a nice item to a nice Pokemon, it will do great. But one piece of advice is if you ever get a Blissey, you have to give it an Oran Berry. Yes, honestly, I've heard that Oran Berry Blissey is the ultimate Pokemon combination. how's everything going? You're keeping notes, I hope you are. This is amazing advice from someone like me who has a lot of badges. I'm not going to tell you how many tries this took me and how many Charizards I used. Well, just my Charizard. But I'm very, very experienced, as you can see. I even have a Mega Bracelet. I haven't been able to Mega Evolve my Pokemon yet. I feel like, I guess I need to level them up more. Or, I don't know. Someone told me that apparently I need a second stone, but I already have the Mega Stone, so I don't get what's going on. But yeah, more battle advice, right? So, battling is actually really straightforward in my opinion. Unfortunately, you don't have a Charizard, so that complicates things a little bit, but that's fine. So, my first piece of advice would be, those like status moves. Don't bother with that. There's no point in using status moves. If a move doesn't do damage, then what's the point of the move? I'd rather just attack again, right? I will also finish the battle quicker, so like, what's the point? Oh, I will boost my stats. No, just let me attack you. Like, what's the point if the move does no damage? I want to see damage being dealt. I want to see the flamethrower dealing damage to my enemy. And also, the stronger the move, the better. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? The stronger move, more damage. Fantastic. For example, Hyper Beam, absolute masterpiece of a move. My Charizard loves using Hyper Beam. It's honestly the greatest move ever. As you can see, like, massive Hyper Beam. It hits super hard, and then Charizard has to stand there for a little bit, some people say he can't move. I'm telling you, he's aura farming my Charizard. After using Hyper Beam, he just looks so cool that he has to stand there for a little bit. Sometimes he'll receive a hit from an opponent because he's aura farming too much by standing there. But it's so worth it for the Hyper Beam. Super worth it. So, if you're ever losing a battle, that's just not a word that I'm used to saying, because I never lose, my Charizard never loses. Don't panic. A lot of trainers panic, and I understand if you don't have a Charizard, you might panic, but I never understood why people panic. Just use your strongest move, and what if that move doesn't work? Use the same strongest move again, and if it still doesn't work, well then, get yourself a Charizard if you don't have one. Otherwise, well, I don't know what to tell you. At least you tried, I guess. Speaking of powerful Pokemon, like my Charizard, I actually I saw a Zapdos the other day. I think I could have caught it, but I looked at my team, right? I looked at my Charizard and the rest of my team, and I was like, well, I already have an electric type Pokemon on my team, so I don't really need another one. So I was like, you know what? I don't need this Zapdos anyways. What is it going to do? Like, I already have a Pokemon that flies, my Charizard. I already have a strong Pokemon, my Charizard. I don't need another one, and I already have a electric type Pokemon somewhere in my team, so I don't need another one. Definitely not that it was a bit intimidating and a bit too strong for me. I mean, yeah, it's not the fact that Zapdos looked a little bit intimidating. And I mean, I read the Pokédex entry and apparently it's like all this amazing being, but I wouldn't trust anything or everything that the Pokédex says. Like, some entries are clearly exaggerated. Have you read some of them? Like, you'd think every single Pokemon is able to like end civilization, and then you actually see this mighty Zapdos and it's just like standing there just chilling, and I'm like, okay, it can't be that big of a deal, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyways, so you have to train your Pokemon a little bit more. That's what you have to do. Train your Pokemon, get more badges, and get yourself a Charizard if you haven't got one yet. And then, honestly, your journey is going to be so much nicer. People make Pokemon training sound incredibly complicated. It really just isn't. You should just trust your instincts. Obviously, throw the Pokeballs underhand. Very important. And obviously, these Pokeballs, don't buy these Ultra Balls and these Luxury Balls. There's no point to them. Great balls, remember? Great balls underhand. Fly straighter, fly more precisely, and honestly, the Pokemon that you're trying to catch will respect about it. Just keep feeding your Charizard rare candies like I do all the time, and you will do just fine. So, I think I need to go now. I think I have a challenge, a gym challenge coming up very soon. Anyways, good luck with your Magikarp. I hope yours isn't defective like mine, but I would definitely consider looking into other water-type Pokemon. Like, come on, I'm Magikarp, are you serious? Anyways, it was nice seeing you again. I would battle you, but I mean, you have 3 badges. Clearly, you have no chance against someone like me. Still, keep getting stronger, keep getting your cute little badges, your little beginner badges, and next time we meet, maybe we can have a battle. I'll go easy on you, don't worry. If you're lucky enough, maybe you'll get to face Charizard, but then you won't survive. So, well, I'm obviously not gonna kill anyone, but your Pokemon, they're going straight to the Pokemon Center. So, my Charizard here, too strong for you, so maybe I'll use other Pokemon. Anyways, it was great talking to you again, and have fun on your little cute battles. I'll go have